Tonight I cried myself to sleep.
The scars on my body get deeper, day by day.
I became his toy that he tossed around every moment.
Hold up, wait, why you hitting up women and children?
Why should a 9-year-old child get married to that rich Alhaji?
Aweni, the shining star in my class, looks easy in Alhaji Gimba's house.
I was raped on tape.
She was shamelessly accused of tempting her tormentor.
This violence against women is now recognized as a public health problem.
Do you know it's not only women who scream in dark rooms? Men do too.
Everything a man can be. But you need to know the men get abused too.
We should say no to sexual and gender-based violence.
Let us rise and say no to sexual and gender-based violence.
It's high time we come together and create awareness with the right channel.
We are meant to support one another. Let's take this project off together.
You need to understand that a real man doesn't hit a woman. Yeah. Hold up, wait, why you hitting up women and children? Why you gotta be so mean, my bro? You ain't doing so well, yeah, we need some improvement. Protecting them girls instead for the ride is probably what we should be doing. A million times, I said it online, but now she's tied up on movement. Can I get your attention? Women as important as the men that you mentioned. Can we not segregate them? Show them some love and dance, celebrate them. To my mama and sees, and the women I see, they don't deserve this treatment. And as you're looking for peace, the women ain't pleased, and the children will not be moving. And the children will not be growing, cause the future was just been stolen. By somebody that pushed to hold it, and it was glory. But now she's called to glory, cause she was lonely. Couldn't even hold it, couldn't tell nobody about the things that he was going slowly. She was getting stuck on the molly to the day that she ended her life. She ended her life. To the day that he ended her life. He ended her life. Okay, so how do we move on that? Episode so better that we never come back with a man and a woman that's like come back. And not only love, now decide to come back. Ooh, can we make the world a better place? Can we make it safe for every gender and every race that is upon the earth? He can give her life. He can give her peace. He can set her free. He can let her be what she wants to be. Can we make the world a better place? Can we make it safe for every gender and every race that is upon the earth? Yo, one time, man. It's your boy, Ghetto Boy Gidzeey in it. I got my EP reality check out December 19, yo. Keep anticipating. I got you. Boom.
Tonight I cried myself to sleep, dreaming all the things I could be. Band-aids don't hide the scars, so I bleed. Watch me bleed, know I am alive. Today I prayed I find my way, a street of hope, a great escape. With no house, the whys, the wheres. Let me be, no I am alive. I'm not asking for the world, I'm just asking for the chance to be the woman I was made to be. Maybe in another life I'd be free to live without the fear of being hurt some way, somehow. These won't just be wishes if we change our hearts.
I've got a few questions. It's late, so I'm gonna be quick. Cause the last time I stayed out this late, I was a victim of a quick one. Not to mention the bone of contention, the length of my dress. how distracting it is to them. See, I'm not trying to digress in my bid to portray, but I've got to address this issue. So I ask why? Why? Why should a 9-year-old child get married to that rich Alhaji when wallahi all she wants is to be unapologetically childish, chasing butterflies and reaching for the stars? Why? Why do I have to always walk along the streets like the Olympics? My skin pricks as the praying high of an abuser follows me around like shadow in the valley of unwanted pregnancy. Kilode, tell me, how is the name Tinuade synonymous to sexy calabash? For I do not desire to be called what I am not named. I'm done keeping quiet, this is why I ask questions. For silence has fast become the mantra as we have failed to utter the truth of the matter. A woman is a body of water, she has weight, occupies space, she matters. Our mother's deafening silence as it reverberates to her bones and produces sounds through her mouth. So I hope I don't stutter when I say stop, nor do I mutter no to all the ills endured. My today has not gone yesterday, this ends with me.
All I can feel is the weight of his body crushing mine. All my pleas falling on deaf ears. My tongue drenched with salt from his palms over my mouth. My throat still aches from the muffled screams. My breasts have become his bagpipes. I've been drawing imaginary maps from the rope marks on my body. I ought to be used to this pain by now, ain't I? The scars on my body get deeper, day by day. I'm lashed for every wrong word. And all my words are wrong. Tells me I have no place in this world. I belong to him. I'm trapped. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know what life should feel like. Pain is the only friend I have. It's the only thing I understand now. I wanted freedom from this torture, from this psychopath who makes me crave for Hades. But now I don't know what it means to be free. I just want to be me again. Which brings the question, what am I? He says my only use is to keep his cock happy. Tells me that's all I'm good for. I'm his toy. Every part of me touched. I'm pushed around for his entertainment. But at least toys are beautiful. But he's wrong, right? I'm still worth something, right? Right? Does my wretched body still have value? Can I still be wanted in this world? Do I still have anything to offer? Many times, I want to give up. But somehow strength comes. But I fear that one day, strength might not come. And I might give up everything. Including my ghost.
At 14, Baba asked me to follow him. I told Baba no, I want to go to school. Just like my friends, I want to become a teacher just like Auntie Fimber. Baba yelled at me and said no. I cried and went to Mama. She asked me to obey Baba's orders. I kept on crying for days, but no one cared. At sunset, Baba asked me to pack my things that my new family awaits me, and I must follow them. I kept on crying as I ran and stroked Mama's bosom. Mama could not say a word. Mama was in tears. Forcefully, I followed him. He fed me with persistent cruelty. I became his toy that he tossed around every moment. My opinion never counts. He says horrible things to me. He made me feel worthless. He said I am his slave. My jaw became used to his fist. My dreams became bedridden. I gave birth to Kande. He forced me to take her to Enyeribe for circumcision. She pierced incisors into her genitalia and she was circumcised. Candace screamed in pains and I was in silent agony. I became a victim of fistula. I became a sadist. I became a bitter person, with victimization as my 3-square meal, with pain becoming my liquor, the installed suffering, the lonely days, violence becoming my companion. Brutality beams at me every single second. My years on earth has been nothing but sorrowful. Dear society, say no to sexual and gender-based violence. Advocate against this practice. Activate this unity. Activate prosperity. Become the game changer. Become the change maker. Become the absolute solution. Say no to sexual and gender-based violence.
I am a man. I am a man. Listen, I'm a man. But she beats me. Say cruel things to me and calls me names. The clothes of my dignity turn into shreds, and the stripes of a gain on the arc of my back. Am I still a man? When I know I am more muscular than she, and I can beat her back, but I don't. Am I still a man? When I let her cruel words sink to the depths of my soul without fighting back. If I tell my friends that my woman hits me, will I be a man still? Am I still a man? If I cry and I scream, am I still a man? If the pain inflicted upon me becomes unbearable and I pack out of my house, if I weep and blow my nose and run to my parents' home in search of shelter, am I still a man? A man wearing a wrapper, an empty man, and no other names the society will call me. A sissy, simp, a lady, but not a man. But I choose to satisfy the society and not act in the whims. Yes, I know. I'm a man. My body structure, biology, and my thinking tells me so. I'm everything a man can be. But you need to know that men get abused too. I am that man.
You know her. She once lived in this community that promised her immunity from the violence in the streets. These streets where woman is property and the deity of her body covered in shame is necessity. Everyone in the yard was brother or sister who could buy you biscuits, but this brother only had eyes on her tits. He was family. He had led many homilies readily available. If mommy needed a nanny, his space was safe. He raised her from cradle till she became able, but he had eyes on her tits. Those little oranges growing into Mount Everest with a nipple aroused his dimples. He beckoned me to his bosom, close to his heart where I had laid and listened to wisdom, but this time his mouth was shut but his hands could talk. This was strange. His hands had the mark of sin. They traveled beyond range, and how could I resist the persistence of a wolf in sheep's clothing? This is not the face of a monster. Many nights, many times, he played the role of a pastor. He cautioned me of the boys to run away from sex toys, but his hands had the mark of sin. They traveled to sacred places never been, sacred places never seen. This felt like violence, but I had no evidence. The hands that tear are also the hands that hold the ear, to keep your feet from going astray while they cut you away. I was raped on tape, now silent as a grave. The honor of family name is driving me insane. I am on the precipice, but I must hold my peace.
She cried. Not because she's scared, but because she's really hurt. The thought of living as a victim, yeah, it really hurts. Her voice sounding the word no till fades away. Her dignity is taken as she looks away. Sexual and gender-based violence need to come to a stop. Cause it inflicts physical, sexual, mental, and economic harm on its victim. The female gender are begging that this had to be put to a stop. Gender-based violence isn't a thing to practice. The detriment it poses is really something appalling. A lot of SGBV are carrying out of the female gender. Genital mutilation, child marriage, rape, sexual acts, the mentions never ending. All praise to Jah, CEDAW to the rescue. A body set to eliminate all forms of discrimination, with provision meant to tackle any discrimination on a woman. We are meant to support one another. Let's take this project up together. Gender and Equal Opportunity Bill is the voice that we all need. Since it domesticates the human various rights in full truth, we need to take preventive steps and educate our younger ones. Educate ourselves of SGBV issues. Make a good conversation among all our loved ones. Advocate for legal and policy reform to help prevent SGBV, such as passing the GO bill. Use social media to promote anti-SGBV.
I want to leave. Do I veritably want to leave? Hearing about my sister's horrific refusal made me very scared. She was blamed for her adversity. Why? She wasn't covered enough, they say. But I was wearing a full-length hijab. I keep wondering where I must have gone wrong. Reminiscing another sister's exploitation. She was shamelessly accused of tempting her tormentor because she went out of the house at night, 9 p.m. But I was in my very own home, inside my very own bedroom, and on the bed that was supposed to be my solace, my sanctuary. The very bed I find peace in and repose like a baby with no care in the world become a place I never want to remember. Some say I shouldn't say my story. I shouldn't seek for big. Why? Because the monstrous beast couldn't control his desire. I kept wondering if espoused women have
How do irrelevant things come to be? I ask how. A young married man dies, people start lamenting. We said it, that woman is evil. She has a hand in her husband's mysterious death. She must be brought to book. An innocent woman who knows nothing start passing through emotional trauma. That period she utmostly needs the love and care of the people. They excommunicate her, shave off her pride, bathe the corpse of the dead husband as she drinks of the smelly water thereof. She is humiliated. Now a young married woman is dead. People say, that is the will of God. It is well. The next thing we see is the man getting married to another beautiful lady. His enjoyment continues. Just like that? Who will then be held accountable for a mysterious death? Nobody. Who will then drink the stinky and dirty water of the corpse? Why won't the husband be treated like a murderer? Won't he go through emotional trauma? No is the answer. Because he is a so-called superior gender. But is this not injustice? Her education is seen as waste. When she is given birth to, we frown and say, oh, we prayed for a male first. When she contributes, her contribution becomes odd. In her place of work, she is never promoted to a certain level. We can never believe she is positively independent, or else you tell us she sells her body. A male makes a mistake to mismanage, we say no one is above mistake. A female makes that same mistake, we say she is a woman. Stop! Who made this to be this way? We have so much made this gender look worthless, weak and inferior. If the male gender can't practice that the female gender undergoes, then it becomes partiality and is not worth it. Do aside with pretense and hypocrisy, because deep down you know they deserve equal treatment and respect as men do. Let us rise and say no to sexual and gender-based violence and embrace the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Let us support the Bill for Gender and Equal Opportunity. Arise and join the Frontline Youth Creativity Initiative for gender equality to be a reality.
Witch. She's a witch. Stoner. She's a witch. Voices of angry mob draw me to a scene as I enter the market. Surrounded by angry faces and unhesitant hands was a haggard woman. Blood dripping from her nostrils and her face swollen makes it difficult to recognize her. Oh, that is Mama Kunle. She is a widow who lost her children recently and the newest victim of erroneous belief in my town. In this part of the world I live, it is full of spikes and thorns ready to tear our delicate wings. The messy society, everyone is a victim. Boys, girls, men, women, old and young are a pawn in the web. In this town, you dare not walk in the night, lest you hear the muffled tones of victims. Aweni, the shining star in my class, looks easy in Alhaji Gimba's house. Chidera was beaten and raped because her tears was a turn-on. But nobody to challenge this dehumanizing act. No one, because it was perpetrated by our loved ones. These sufferings are inflicted by our protector, our shield. So it went on and on, not until a voice shouted, "Stop! Stop to harassment! Stop to rape!" Not until we come together and say stop to sexual and gender-based violence.
My dignity, your dignity. Ha! Mother, father, brother. She's everywhere but the scar that lives with her forever. Yeah, she's everywhere but yet you force her to get married to an Alhaji at a tender age just because he promised to get you a car. Yeah, she's everywhere but yet you rape her and threatens to kill her if she tells anybody. Yeah, she's everywhere and you sent her out at the age of 6 to Ogra North in the market while I met her in school. Yeah, she's everywhere but yet you force her to undergo genital mutilation without thinking about the pains, complications and trauma it would cause her. Yeah, she's everywhere and you folded your fingers and stand and keep on like Anthony Joshua who is ready to rescue but you ended up punching her like a rescue bag. Yeah, she's everywhere and that dignity is supposed to be your dignity, but you took advantage of her and left her with an unforgettable trauma. It's high time we come together and create awareness in the right channel to report incidents of sexual and gender-based violence. We are victims to be taken proper care of and offenders to be prosecuted. End sexual and gender-based violence now.
We should say no to sexual and gender-based violence because it is bad and harmful to the woman, the wife, the mother, who takes care of your children, who looks after your home. Sexual and gender-based violence is bad. It is hurtful, it is wasteful on the woman. She cares. She lives. She's a woman. She's a companion, a partner. Not to be maltreated, not to be ill-treated, but to be loved, to be taken care of, to be pampered and to be hoped. Say no to gender and sexual-based violence. It is bad for the peace of the world and the society at large. Protect your woman, take care of her. Love given, love coming from a woman to you, from me. Say no.
Aka ce wai ruwa ya ci makaɗi, kai kana ganga ta jike. We are talking about safety, not grade. Make the world a better place, our own upgrade. Beaten brutally and complaining lead to brutality. How can you try to exercise your fist on my face? Assure safety of my stomach. New adult playground. Caged within my heart. Slaughtered by my own tongue. And refused by freedom. Just because I am bound to boundless of pain. Do you know it's not only women who scream in dark rooms? To ya zama ruwan dare. Men do too. Truth be told, this society is quiet, relentless, hiding within squares of basket, not helpless, yet watching from afar. Then tell me, how are we not covered in darkness? Oh, how will the dignity of this child be covered? Not the case. Also, they thought men are safe, thinking of who will marry her. Forgetting we are all raw, this declares war, not a disgrace. Getting help through this generation mediums is like setting your house on fire. forgetting I had my head too much and now the pillow sucks. Oh, remind me, how will I say I do and get carried away by the rings? You have to follow your husband's command. Who will pay your bill? When I saw how she was dragged like a hunted dog by her chest, so I should pour my heart on my plate and chew it. I know I have a merciful God who will not judge me by my grandparents' sins, not even my parents. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. Today the tune dictates the piper. When he was raped, bucket of mockery he carried, challenging his ancestral right. Oh yes, when she was raped, they know but still dive in ocean of shame as if she is the goddess of fame. I can go on and on till my last breath. This is Golden Voice's Young Voice against SGBV.
In the world we live in, the 20th century, a lot have been going on, but in this case, it's in the violation of human rights. The discrimination due to one's gender, and this is specifically done to the female gender. They feel they are weak. This violence against women is now recognized as a public health problem. Firstly, let's look at the examples of this female gender-based violence. We see domestic abuse, a man raising hands at his partner. We see economic abuse, inability of the man to contribute and cater for the household. We see psychological abuse, a man insulting, embarrassing his wife, especially in the public, and also threatening to harm her and her loved ones. We see the female genital mutilation. This is the circumcision of the female gender. This is bad. We see rape, forced child marriage, and we see sexual assault. This sexual violence causes short-term and long-term physical, mental, sexual, and reproductive problems. They could lead to high social and economic costs for women. Let's look at the effects of this sexual violence. It can bring fatal outcomes such as homicide and suicide, lead to injury, unwanted pregnancy, HIV, and we know the stigma that is going on about HIV, that it cannot be cured. It can also lead to depression and other disorders in the body. These women might suffer isolation, inability to walk. To fight against the discrimination and violence against women and girls, us, the youth, the young people, can take the following steps. Number 1, we should listen and believe survivors, not disregarding and discriminating them when they open up to us, both physical means and social media means. We shouldn't say, why didn't she leave? We should say, we hear you, we believe you, and we stand with you, and help take necessary steps. Number 2, we should teach the next generation and learn from them. We should set for them good examples to shape how they think about gender respect and human rights. Number 3, we should call for a response and services fit for purpose. That shelters, hotlines, counseling, and support should give it to the survivors of this gender-based violence. Number 4, we should learn about the signs of abuse and how we can help. This means that when we see someone suffering from violence, whether a friend or a stranger, we should help them find safety and support. Number 5, we should know the data and demand more of it. To effectively combat this violence, we need to understand this issue well. Relevant data collection is key to implementing preventive measures and providing survivors with support. We call on our government and some agencies, such as the National Orientation Agency, NOA, to invest in data on gender-based violence. With all these preventive measures carried out by the youth, female gender-based violence will reduce drastically in the society and the world at large.
Hello everyone, Abdullahi Sani is my name. I'm a spoken word poet. I'll be presenting a poem titled Voice of a Silent Woman. Voice of a silent woman. I raise and I raise with a silent voice. Voice of a silent woman. Thunderstorm, storm and lightning, cutting thoroughly through throats of a ruffled families, families of a woman. Voice of a silent woman. Women are no more women but molest. Yes, molest to wipe the dust due to sexual and gender-based violence. Voice of a silent woman. From human to human and humiliation, dishonesty, disorder to destruction, destruction to information. Women, they are your mothers, sisters, aunts, and daughters. They have to be loved and cherished. Make her not to feel different. No race, no woman, no human, no child is born to bore. Gender equality is now gender inequality. Listen to the voice of a silent woman. It's like a pandemic that spread like COVID-19. zo mu haɗa kai, kai da ke, a jaka fawo. You and I supposed to stand up and make a collaboration with the government to fight this. Let's all react, respect, retrospect, and be responsible. Yes, I'm talking remedy to rectify and end gender-based violence. Gender inequality is no base of comfort. The time is now. Now is the time. Voice of a silent woman. Yes, voice of a silent woman. Thank you.
Women have rights equal to men. We are not meant to be men.